Hello guys, I just want to give you some context of this video. So this video is a episode from the Kaptens Logg in which I was a guest, and I had a conversation, a really good conversation with the host, of course, Tommy Alfredsson, and he actually was the first guest I had on my podcast. So I'm very sure that you will enjoy this episode. And we talked about, it was a quite natural flowing, raw conversation. And we talked about what you learn about yourself when you're working in professions like a security guard, cop, firefighter, in the military and such. We also go into how the different weaknesses in our modern society and what kind of people that society we have today creates. And also we talk about abortion, good and evil, God, and what it means to live with purpose instead of nihilistic worldview. So and we also go into somewhat philosophical and existential questions. I'm pretty sure you will enjoy this. So everything from abortion, violence, and so on. So it's a really good conversation here. So with no further ado, here's the episode. Enjoy.
Testing. Bra. So, welcome to Kaptens Logg, Mattias.
Thank you very much.
Introduction. We make it simple. You're a fellow podcaster. Let's leave it at that, and then we can talk more during the conversation. But fellow podcaster, and I've been keeping my eye on you for some time. I think you post very interesting things. I think you obviously spend a lot of time thinking about quite heavy subjects, and I respect you for doing that, because that is you could instead be sitting eating cheese doodles and looking at TikTok instead of thinking about what's going to happen when we die. So huge respect from me to you. I see you as this if I'm going to place you in some type of archetype, you're this bit of a warrior philosopher kind of guy. That's my view on you. If you agree or don't agree, it doesn't really matter. That is that is my view. And how's that? What do you think about my take on you?
That's fair enough, and I can say a lot of what you directed to me, I can say likewise, and so totally agree there.
Maybe that is why we're sitting here.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like-minded people, So, but then again, big differences in life story and everything. That's why it is, can be a quite unique conversation. And we have been tried to get this this conversation in 1.5 years or something like that. You were on one of my live streams, and I put it out as a episode 1 of my podcast. So you were like the starting point of that. So I thank you for that.
I wasn't really prepared for that. I just wanted to jump in and support you because I had a live stream. So, but thank you for that. So, just to make you to warm up, this is not something I maybe usually do, but I've actually prepared some questions here for you.
Yeah.
You can take them super seriously if you want to, or you can choose not to, and you can have some fun with them. But both. Instead of going directly to the deep stuff, I'm thinking we're going to paint a little picture on how you think here.
Yeah,
and you are free to exaggerate. You're free to use your imagination and fantasy on these answers. So, okay. Question 1, because you got a long martial art background. That is the reason why I'm asking you this. How many people, Matthias, normal human beings, untrained, fully grown men, completely untrained, they only watch TV, how many would you feel okay fighting at once before it becomes administrative to hard to deal with? Where do you think your limit is?
Oh,
they are not attacking you at the exact same thing, but they're standing like a group around you.
yeah, no problem. I have thought of this many times,
I know.
and I have actually been there. I have
Yeah.
the maximum people I have had against me was I think there were like 10 guys, me and 10 guys, and it went pretty well. They almost got me to the ground because I just standed up. I don't want to sound like a superhero or something like that, but
you do.
yeah, you know, I was. It was some time. I think I hadn't been to the boxing club for like a year or something like that when this happened. I was like It was on my 15th birthday.
Oh, yeah.
It was, and I was not drunk. I think I drank like one beer or something like that, and I was protecting my friend, and it was all this. It was an immigrant gang, of course. So, they were like 10 people. One of them was actually a Swede, but and we had a beef there, and he asked me if he wanted if I wanted problem, you know. So yeah, and I thought we are two guys, so it's okay. But it's a long story. But anyway, so that went pretty well, and it's I was so I think.
So now in your current form,
my current form, yeah, exactly. Because the thing is, I'm pretty fast, so I can dodge a lot. I can you know, that's the way I was able to not get that hurt. Of course, I got some hits, but yeah, and but if they were like really in for it and want to kill me, they eventually I wouldn't have the energy to persist. I think so. So that's one thing. But I think realistically, in my current situation, I have a lot of injuries and so on. But in that situation, you don't care about it. So yeah, and
they haven't trained martial art. They have never trained.
No, of course. This was actually a quite known like street hustlers, you know, gang that beat up people. So they have some.
But now in the current example, 5 guys, 40 years old, they never trained, they never do anything. They're drunk.
Big difference, yeah. And yeah, I don't know. It's a really hard question because you don't know who. You know, you have to be more specific with what people you are up to. But if we just say normies that haven't trained anything,
untrained.
You know, you can like 5 guys. I think actually. If they're not too big, you know, if it's is 5 big guys, that's a whole different story. Because if they get a hit, you're done, and then they can stomp your face out. Yeah. So you have to be really realistic about that. But you know, I think that would be them. But if they have a training experience and so forth, that's another thing. You can like get beat out by one guy. So yeah, it's always contextual, you know.
Yeah. So,
what would you say about that? If I can counter that question over to you.
Yeah, I would say the same thing as you. It depends, of course, on the people.
Yeah.
But the way I think about it is like, if we just make it super simple, they haven't trained. They don't, on a regular basis, they don't sweat, they don't bleed, they don't know their bodies that well. That is like one good thing advantage. But then also, if you add on top of that the psychological game, like the if you come in with complete full batshit aggression and just go like a Wolverine, and
Yeah.
you identify who's the strongest guy in the group, and you go first there, and then the second, like maybe you only need to beat up one or two people in the group of five, and the other people will, they will become scared, and then you can beat them up when they run.
Exactly.
Yeah,
They will run off. Yeah, of course.
yeah.
They don't want to risk life, for
No,
for a bit of cockiness.
no, not when it becomes so real. Like,
No, exactly. So
and if
yeah,
it's really stressful, and no rules, you can bite people, you can poke them in the eye. You're like, yeah, you can. I wouldn't want to approach a person who's crazy like that.
no,
But
no.
what speaks to my disadvantage is that I'm maybe 80% of my 10 years martial art is grappling. So
Yeah,
I want to, if I can get a hold of someone, even if they're big, like I'm pretty confident in how to get that person really tired and just choke them. But I don't want to. You don't want to lay there on the ground.
No. Exactly. Actually, this is something that have come to mind to me recently. But as I said, I have many like issues and like health issues and so forth that inhibit me to do certain things, and I have ankle sprains that are my wrist is loose and my knees yanked up and everything like that. So and I also have problem with my thyroid. So if I get like strangled or something, I can have problem with that many years after and so on.
Really?
Yeah, it's a long story, but so a lot of things. And so I work at as a security guard besides as a health optimizing coach. So and I currently working in a hospital. So we are often in emergency and also the how to say it, psychic emergency.
Yeah.
Now all the updrug people and people with health issues and
psychosis
and
stuff.
But I will say it's more demonic than anything. So anyway, so one time we had like, and this started actually to rethink my approach to things, because it was some times since I worked as a guard like a year ago or something like that. So I had like a break
time
there.
off.
So
Yeah,
exactly. And I always lean on my stand-up fighting. So I've never been as a grappler. And the problem with grappling is because I have a lot of injuries nowadays, so I can't start doing it, but I would really like to do it, because that is more important in this kind of job to, get overhand in wrestling and so on, because you can't like start boxing or elbowing someone in the face when you're working in a profession, so we had one guy in the psychic emergency. He was a real
kick someone in the face.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that will be more.
It would be cool. It would be cool.
Yeah, but it would be more problem for me than the other guy, because I would get problem with the. Yeah, maybe get a problem with the cop or something. So anyway, we had this big guy, and he's really mental. And I was thinking to myself, okay, this guy, if he managed to like drop me, he will just stomp my brains out, because he is like a guy you need like 5 cops to drag him down. And I was thinking about that, and I really like to learn more I, I can some, you know, in Thai boxing you have clinching, so you get a principle, you know, but
you're used to trying to, you know,
break balance and everything
yeah,
like that.
and the angles and all of that shit. That is really good in Thai boxing.
Yeah. So that I have, but you know, a big guy with no turn off button, you know, that would be very very good to learn actually. So you have to learn some. You have to teach me some someday. In a controlled way, you know, because I have these issues. It's okay in an emergency situation, because then it's yeah, you know, you will have to yeah, risk that, because yeah, if you don't, you may die, you know. So anyway, so in a control training environment, that would be good. But you know, when you come to like a dojo or something like that and you start training, it's hard to control the other guy, you know, what they do, and they can't take like they can take yeah, they can have empathy towards your issues, but because they don't know it. So yeah, it's quite
yeah, or they don't, or they can't.
Yeah, exactly.
They can or they can't. I mean, so it's, yeah, that's a risk. That's a real.
Yeah.
I did boxing like a year actively, and yeah, I thought that was normal, but they completely beat the living shit out of me. Like every Friday we had like sparring, and they had like competitive boxers there, and they're like super intense training, and then like, yeah, like sparring, and the trainer like, yeah, don't hold back, he said to the other guys, and I went home in the car sitting there with like headache for 2 days, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I thought that was normal. But then I became a bit older, and I started training beginners in shoot fighting at like MMA light, and we did striking and stuff also. And now like they were completely insane. Like it's just old school mentality. Certain clubs have this, you got to bleed every training. Yeah, but what did I learn from that? Yeah, I became better at my defense, of course, but I could never ever even touch them. Like it was impossible for me. So it's not so smart to you got to, if you have students that have tendencies to, you know, become crazy like that, you got to control that shit. Like it's the same, you know, if you have a new group with grapplers, you have a big strong guy, maybe he's played hockey or something. Of course he will have advantages versus someone who's been playing video games for 10 years. And if his ego is unchecked and he's there to, you know, get some points for his ego, he's gonna try to kill people. Even like I've seen big guys, grown men, like take small girls who weigh 60 kilos and like fucking slam them and stuff. And you look at them and like, what the fuck are you doing? But the good thing with, yeah, you know this yourself, is the same. But if me and my training partners who've been there for a while, if we see that type of behavior in a person, we just look at each other and we're like, yeah, this guy, we're gonna fuck him up. He's gonna that ego there that is out of hand, we're gonna fucking destroy that now. And I mean that is I'm not happy when I need to do this, but I'm thinking I'm doing this guy a favor. So when you fucking choke him and he starts like, oh, tapping, and you're like, I'm not gonna let go yet. You're gonna lay here for like at least 5 more seconds, like, and then you repeat that on every fucking body of the arms, the legs, like. And the good thing with grappling is that you can, same in every combat sport, but you can be a really, really nasty motherfucker. Like if I'm laying on top of you, like holding you like this over your upper body, I can just take my forearm here with this bone here and just fucking saw it. Everything I got down in your face, like, oh, like these small things that you do to make people like, they tap when you do that. And then you're like, no. I haven't done a submission for you yet. You can't tap on that. This is not like side rant, but I relate to what you're saying. So
Yeah, but
train. I need to do that myself also. Like
yeah, so we can like teach each other there. So, but
we can.
yeah. So, but that's quite, as you said, with the example with the boxing club. That's quite normal, actually, with boxing, traditional boxing, and it's good for one thing is you get used to real fighting, let's say full contact. And that is very useful, and you need some of that if you're going to compete or something like that. So, otherwise, you will get a shock. But there also the Thai boxing club I went to was also very old school and very bleed out and you're a wuss and everything like that. You never get a tap on the shoulder because you're good. It's the other way. If you're too good, they will handle you even worse. But they were very good trainers with good titles, and But the full contact thing, But they actually had this, like, if there is one big guy that's beating on the younger guys, unnecessary, they will just tell the best fighters to get him up in the ring and fuck him up. Especially when it's like cocky guys that don't have any empathy at all. So
So but like question, but also like this filter. They call it, like, in martial art, there's like a douchebag filter. So from someone looking at the outside into a martial art gym, you think, oh, cocky douchebags, toxic. And of course, sometimes it is. We all grew up in those gyms, maybe, with that attitude and stuff. So, but like, isn't it really, really hard to be an asshole in a martial art club? To be disrespectful, to be brutal against beginners? Like, it's gonna be tough for you because there will be some other people that are better than you that's gonna fuck you up. So I've seen that many times. Many like really, really cocky people come in and you ask them like, oh, so you done any martial art before? Like, sit and talk to them. That I've been fighting on the street. Like, you shouldn't say that. Like, shut up.
No.
So when you beat these people up, especially in grappling, because then they're like, this is gay. I don't want it. This isn't for me. Like, sure.
You're only butt buddies.
Or this, come back. Yeah, so it's a good system if you have a functioning club.
Yeah. And it's it's not like you're going to risk like in boxing you're gonna get like brain damage or something, or you're gonna kill him because you have. I see that grapplers and so on, they have a lot of control over what they do, and they know how like the chokeouts work and so on with the waking up and how to.
Not in the beginning, you don't.
No, not in the beginning, of course. But if you do it to a new guy, you know what you're doing.
Of course.
So,
But I mean, a new guy, they can, you teach them a rear naked choke and they become, and they're strong. They're like, and someone is like almost dying. They're tapping. They don't even sense it because they're adrenaline. Like this is what I like about grappling. Really like about grappling. You can go with two trained people who are, know each other well and trust each other. You can spar 100%. You can give absolutely everything you got. You can just let out that fucking monster, that bad day you had. You haven't slept good for 3 days. You can let that out in a controlled way. And so the feeling afterwards when you emptied yourself in such a way, like it's hard to on the picture there. It's hard to get that exact same thing in pure striking. Then you get tired because if I'm going to box with you, I'm going to fall on the ground because I can't breathe. Like, all the movement and thinking and protecting myself. So I get tired in that way, but just letting everything out. If you compare that to if you take that in striking, that is if you're going like a fight, like a match, then you can do that. But still you can't, maybe you're going to lose control maybe if you, but yeah, you get what I'm saying. That's what I like about that you can empty yourself in such a brutal, primitive, raw way. So you're like, if you had some little demons there chasing you that day, or thoughts or something, it's like, it's completely empty.
Yeah, I heard what you're saying, and it's a very big difference there, because you can really empty yourself from that primitive energy that you want to get released. Because especially if you're I can imagine when you're on the ground and grappling and so on, it's like you have counter strength at the it's like this, it's going this like for 30 minutes, and you're
100 against each other.
Yeah. So really
just an advice from me to you, psych ward, think of it like, if I, who have shitloads of experience when it comes to grappling, if a guy like that would approach me and I know exactly what to do with him, it is still so completely super dangerous. Like in the beginning, it's like a bull. Like, so I'm thinking, really, I've been sparring with people grappling who weigh like, you're a strong man, like 160 kilos. Like, that guy can like break my back. I can't match his strength, his weight. The only thing I need to do, of course, this becomes different if you're you've been a black belt for 10 years, you competed in the world, sure, then it evens out, but for a guy like me, still heavy, still strong, with a lot of experience, if I meet like 150, 60 kilo guy who's also strong and crazy in the head, I would think like this, okay, if I can survive, and I will, 30 seconds, like a minute, like almost riding a bull, like a rodeo, if I can like be on him, but he can't, kill me, but just like a wet towel on him, that approach I would have to a big person, because there's no magic grip you can take. There's no magic like ankle lock, or it's really hard, especially when they are crazy in the head. So
yeah.
Can you make them give everything, let everything out? Then they will get tired really fast. So that's when they start to like, now the grappling starts. Now you can try to lock him up or hurt him. But before that, only God can save you.
Yeah, but patience is the key there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That is scary. That is scary.
Yeah. It's the same when you... it's the same when you get approached, with striking. You block and so on, and then they get exhausted. Just hope they don't get a lucky punch. And hope you can... move your head good and so on. And
big, strong guy just smashing at you with his heavy arms.
And it's the same with, when you're handcuffing someone that is on drugs.
Yeah.
That's quite hard, It can be a little girl sometimes, if they're full of drugs and they're really, really aggressive. And you can't do what you would have done if you weren't in your working situation,
No.
Because you can't. You have to do it proper way, but so it gets kind of the same thing when you're in the dojo or something like that, because you really need to be like patient, and you have to take your opportunities when they slip up, and Yeah.
I mean, I have huge respect for you for that. in your normal life, in your job, I mean, people, this a normal day in your life. So what did you do yesterday, Matthias, at work? Yeah, I had to handcuff a person, a crazy person that tried to bite me. I had to handcuff him or her. It took me 20 minutes. That's pretty crazy if you think about it.
Yeah.
That's not.
It is.
Yeah, it's
That's not. Yeah, exactly. It's not that it happens that often, but when it
no,
happens, it's
but it doesn't matter
exhausting.
if it happens often or not. It's like that could be a normal day in your life, and that is
absolutely.
pretty crazy if you think about it.
I met my one of my good friends and former colleague. He went off to be a cop, and I said to him, it will not take that long before you advance in this profession. He's one of the best guards I ever met. He has arrested thousands of people, but he have this, he's very humble. He is very kind. He's very low mellow, almost like you can think of him as a little bit shy, but that guy, He have no real martial arts background, but he's quite a buff guy, but he have he's quite athletic. He has been working in the military and so forth as well. Never went out to any offshore missions or something, but he trained some military. Yeah. So anyway, so I met him for like a couple of weeks ago, and I said it. Yeah, as I said, you will advance, and he said yes. No, I'm like a high position in some area. Yeah. So anyway, so I said to him, these 4 years we haven't met, and you. I can imagine you have a lot of interesting situation you can tell me of. And he just laughed and said, we say like a normal guy have like 10 traumatic situation in his life, but we have like 20 in a month. So, so yeah. So yeah.
And I mean, that 10 is probably 5 nowadays. Like,
yeah, exactly. Maybe it's relative, Is it traumatic when you get shot in? Is it traumatic when you get shot in a video game?
Yeah. Or get a flat tire on your car.
Yeah, exactly. And you run out of water or something. So yeah, it's. But yeah,
and maybe this guy has the best. You said he doesn't have any like formal martial art training, but maybe he has the best martial art training in the world. Arresting people like in his job so many times. Yeah. Like you can't. I mean, if you come home and you had a chaotic shift and you had to fight people and it was violent and threatful and stuff, when you evaluate that situation, how that went, and like what the fuck did go wrong? Yeah, I didn't. I stood like this. I fell there. Like, I mean, you're doing martial art. Of course you do.
Yeah, of course. But it's very, very, it's very humbling because oftentimes, in my experience, oftentimes you get in those more violent situations when you have been standing up for like 10 hours and you're tired as fuck.
Yeah,
and,
of course.
And so you're completely tired, and so you really do it on the spare fire,
Yeah.
So it's quite humbling when you get in those situations.
Why doesn't anyone want to fight when you have slept for 12 hours? You ate like a pizza yesterday. You have 2 liters of electrolytes and water in you. You got your salary payday, like sun is shining. No, it doesn't seem to work like that.
No.
And I don't know why, but but that is the true test. That is the true test. Like, who the fuck are you when everything feels you don't get these things for free?
No, exactly.
Yeah, so if you were to let's say you're going to start your own security company now, and you have plans for that for the future. But in the first thing you need is you need to hire 3 security guards. Like they're going to maintain control over some area or some building or something, many people going back and forth. What would you look for if you're sitting like in a manager position? You're going to interview them and talk to them. What would you look for in them, like from your experience?
Yeah, of course, it would be try to sense him out if he's humble, actually, because that stems into many things. Oftentimes, if you're humble, you can all. It goes a little bit hand in hand to be humble and calm, because you don't feel like you have to do something that's not necessary. If you get me, so. A humble guy, well trained, of course. Not necessarily a 6-pack and 48 centimeters biceps or something like that, but well trained, good condition, intelligent, and of course loyalty, and have a heart for the profession. So as the guy I told you about now recently, he have heart for that kind of work. I'm not so invested, so there's a big difference between someone as well, in like you have a good guy that doing his job good, but then you have the guy that have a real heart and do everything by the book, and something that is very important as well. Of course, it's appearance. Believe it or not, in that profession, you have to have a good posture, and you need to look. You can't look like you can, but it's better if you have like. Good features in your face features and everything. You look like you have authority and so on. But the posture is very important.
Why?
Because that leave out many problems, because people don't tend to approach authoritative people in the same way as a person that seems weak. So a lot of problems just is not even noticeable, because it's off in a second when you see the person. So, and how you talk as well. So that's quite obvious. So you can also
do you think it's obvious to many people, or is it obvious to you?
Yeah, it's obvious. I think it's quite obvious psychologically, if the guy looks, have a good look, a good vision, and looks strict and authoritative. So that leaves out a lot of problem. And actually, if you're tall, you have a lot to win there.
Yeah.
It is intimidating if you're tall, because if you're a big guy, you don't have to be a pro boxer to knock you out. So it's one punch away. So I would say.
I'm gonna. So if you take all these qualities that you mentioned now, and even like visually, where else in life is that a good thing?
Oh, in your working life, of course.
Yeah,
I think it's a good characteristic to have in most professions. Actually.
Yeah, and maybe even most areas of life, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I'm thinking when you're saying that.
Yeah.
I've been single for many years. What do I need to do? Yeah, you could take those things you said, like, if you strive for this or try to become this, it's gonna help you, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I have no friends. Yeah, same there. Like,
Yeah.
I think it is applicable to everything.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
But the interesting part, the only reason why I said, like, do you think everyone understands this? But because if you are a security guard, for example, and you don't want to be there, your pants are hanging low, you have a
Yeah.
posture, you look tired, you look fucking tired,
Yeah.
and you don't signal authority, you don't signal anything.
Exactly. I have examples of this. I've seen like guys working as a guard, and they have like teenager mocking them, and
Yeah. So
Yes.
my point there.
Yeah.
They will, of course, have a completely different experience of what it is working as a guard, right?
Of course, it's very stressful, if you're that guy.
Yeah. And because I've been working with a lot of guys like this also in different professions and areas, I know the guy, but what I don't truly understand is when he comes home from the shift and we have a meeting on Monday and we talk about our problems. He has a lot of problems. Yeah, the teenagers, they were spitting at me, and yeah, that guy he wasn't listening, blah, 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 blah. He has all these problems. I have one of those 10 problems maybe that I can relate to. And I understand why. I understand why I don't have them, and I understand why he have them. But this is just my thought. Not always does he understand why he has them, and I don't. You get what I'm saying? How can't that be obvious? Like, the world is mean. It's unfair. Like, yeah, you're lucky, Tommy. Like, isn't it obvious?
Yeah. But this stems in, this comes from the modern day mentality, that everyone can be anything. And when you get into a position of work that doesn't fit you,
yeah,
you will get quite confused, and you will just try to do the easy thing and blame something else that is external to you.
That's it. Yeah, the external. You look
classic.
look for other solutions.
The naivety is so broad today, so not surprising, but it's very, and it's also like this, it's very saddening to see sometimes as well, because some guys maybe if they had have just done one or two things more in line with that profession before they started to do that work, they might be good. But if they don't, if they start without that experience, they can easily just get themselves into a situation that will be somewhat traumatic, and then they will get disencouraged, and then they maybe get depressed and so on. And it's very scared. Yeah. And also, not everyone is made for everything, So yeah. I think it's. I think it's.
I like you've been thinking about this, and you have a good sense of it. But it's quite common. Like, it's the teenagers' fault, and this mentality is very dangerous, because then you might end up in a work group with people, like a team. Like, we can't do anything. We don't have the authority to do what is needed. You start talking like that. I've been working like, yeah, but you don't need to hit them. You gotta do the thing first. It's the same there. If you're a security guard and you're grumpy because the problem is, you should not. You should put the focus in where you don't need to batoon them in the head, right?
Yes.
But yeah.
Yeah,
wish we had
absolutely.
more for it.
I know it's cliche, but when I work Sagard, I'm all, and this I do in my day-to-day life as well. If I try to solve things even before we start to talk,
Yeah.
as I said, just with being myself, but also verbally, of course. The last thing I want is to be on the ground and risking my old injuries to get even worse. That's the
Someone-
last thing I want to do.
An orc stomping your face.
Yeah, and no, that's not worth it. The paycheck isn't that good. So
No. So then you need to that's how you learn to the trade.
yeah,
It's the same as, but with the types of jobs that both you and I have, very similar ones, where you go from normal to complete fucking chaos or very unpredictable situations that just poof, nothing have really fully prepared you for that until now.
yeah,
Now you have to deal with it. That is, it's hard, but you get used to it and you think, yeah, that's how it is to work. But most people don't want to have those surprises. You don't want to be chased by a 120 kilo crazy person with drugs and psychosis at your job. Like, no, it's not normal. But for you, like, yeah, that happened yesterday. But yeah, okay. But so I just want to give you like a bro fist there. Like, you're doing. It's good that people like you exist. So
yeah.
people who yeah, for some strange reason, think it's normal to do weird shit. Like, yeah.
But
you could be sitting at an office.
There, oftentimes is those jobs that will persist as well. I look at like the ambulance drivers.
Yeah.
They are and you're a firefighter, so a former firefighter, so how they have it as well.
I would place them
death,
highest up in the respect category.
Yeah, exactly, and
Seriously.
is so many traumatic situations, but they have to numb themselves as well, because and this, I can think have seen like burned people and anything of that kind.
I mean, every work category, they usually have a really, really fucked up sense of humor.
I will just say that sometimes you're lagging, sometimes you're lagging,
yeah.
So
okay,
so it just drops out. So.
I was saying, the people with the most fucked up sense of humor, dark humor, raw humor, they have these jobs. And I thought, I grew up in the forest. My father is a very manly man. But when I started, becoming friends with, hang out with ambulance people, their humor, I'm like, hey, even me, I'm hard to get uncomfortable. Like, hey, you. I mean, they are, but all the shit every day, people that, I mean, just dealing with death.
Yeah.
Maybe 2, 3, 4 times a day. Sometimes they get reminded of this life is not, we have a limited time. And every person, every age, every gender can die from the most fucked up ways you ever can imagine. Anytime.
Yeah.
So
and that's, that's, as you usually say about Jewish comedians, that this sense of humor was growing in the camps and so on. Yeah,
makes sense.
So,
makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. Yes. So,
makes sense. But also, I place them highest up on the firefighters. Get too much credit. I don't know why.
They look cool. That's why. They look cool.
That's why.
It's a uniform.
My friend Sim Sibrit, Estonian, he's like most fit man in Estonia. He can do like 1,000 pull-ups. He can run for days. He looks like a superhero. And I mess with him all the time. Like, yeah,
sorry, you were about to say something, right?
Yeah, I tell firefighters. He's a police officer in the military.
Okay.
Firefighters, we exist because you police officers need real heroes in life. So, but we all know that, like, being a firefighter, sure. It is pretty fucked up in certain ways. You can come to a car. Yeah. Most things we do. When I started this job, I thought, you spray water on houses. I don't know. Once a year you do that. You go on car crashes. Everything is car crash. Car crash. All the fucking time. You cut people out of cars. They are mangled to death. They're like body parts everywhere. An entire family burnt to death, whatever. Injuries, people die on every time someone is drowning. You go out and try to rescue them. So it's so wide and complex, the thing. I've even been, saving cows, animals, who went down in the mud like a horse. I remember standing with mud up here with a horse who was kicking, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna try to put a strop under the horse so we can like lift it. I'm like, what am I doing? This is probably the most dangerous things I've ever done. I don't know, but
you want one kick and you're done.
Like, so. But when you've been exposed for so many fucked up shit for over 10 years, of course you become a bit fucked up. Like, for me personally, like relating to normal people with normal jobs, that it's almost impossible. Like people. The things people complain about or the problems they have, like, I'm like, I just hear noise. And that's not because I don't think I'm better than them. I just understand that I'm different thanks to all the fucked up shit that happened.
Yeah. The fun thing is, or more interesting thing, I think, is that when you have this kind of a profession, and when you're living outside of a secured realm, let's say, you actually you're becoming more human when you do that, because much of what we do today is artificial and it's not human. That is real life outside there, So
and to prove your point there, if I could, when I was most active in this job, I had a different job, and I had so much things going on in my life. I was, but still you manage to deal with it. So my point there is that if I live like this in the forest, I walk around an entire day, and the things I talk to is like birds and my kids. Like, you become so grounded, and like you feel your own strength in a way. If I live like this and know, like, once a day I need to go down to the people village and I need to save a horse or cut some dead people out of a car or fight some drug addict in some apartment, I could do that. I could do that without becoming, negatively affected by it, so it would destroy my life. So my point is, when some people say, oh, I could never be a firefighter, my or police or guard or whatever, ambulance driver, what I think people say that is like, some people, when they say it, I'm like, no, maybe you shouldn't. But most people like, actually you can, because you can deal with so much more fucked up shit than you can imagine. Like, we are constructed to be able to deal with blood, violence, fire, crazy people want to kill you. I think that is just a part of the human gig. It's just that that's my take on it. So if I think this is maybe a radical thought. I think in a different world, in a different culture, environment. If I stand here outside my house, two super aggressive, dangerous people come threatening to do violence on my family, injure them. I'm pretty sure that with my bare hands, if I'm lucky, and I wouldn't lose sleep over that. Does that sound crazy? I just think we
No,
have
not at
that.
all.
We have that function inside us. Like,
It's your responsibility to do that actually, and it's righteous to do it, because otherwise you're just a coward as well. So if
yeah,
you
but
don't,
I think psychologically, think about this.
okay,
If you kill two people who want to injure your kids, the first thought is like, what the fuck have I done? I'm going to go to jail. There's so much problems. I'm a bad person if you kill someone. All this software that we are wired, like culturally, is going to be activated, right?
yeah, of course, yeah.
But if you remove that, if you just live in I mean, take a look at tribal people. Like Papua Guinea, they throw spears at each other. They fucking eat each other.
Yeah.
Like they are the same species as we are. And I don't think that they, I killed someone yesterday and ate his penis. Yeah, that guy is like, he's celebrated as the village hero there. Like, so
Yeah.
just a different environment, different culture.
Yeah, I think what you're looking for there maybe is, or what you're hinting at is worldviews. What worldview do you have? That will result in how you behave. Is your belief in certain principles and so forth, are they more valuable than the artificial liberal law system that we have? And then you compare the law system to your family.
Yeah,
for example, when you're going to protect them.
It's an
you're
easy
very,
calculation.
Yeah. Yes. So
yeah, it's just an interesting philosophical thought. Like, what could you do under different circumstances where you just the human animal, just the thoughts, remove all the culture, the fluff, the software.
Yeah.
What are you capable of doing? And I think a lot of stuff. And some of those things are really like barbaric and crazy if we look at it from a modern perspective. But yeah.
But also, there is a big difference between primitive and primitive, primitive behavior. We need some principles for that as well. We can't just be the fool that runs into war and kill people and torture people and so on. No. You have to have a principle that you only make as much harm that is necessary first off. You don't brutalize on someone, because that oftentimes as well comes from a lower part of yourself, a primitive part of your soul, let's say. And you have this evil satisfaction, and it's very ego-driven, and vengeful and so on. And when you get into that, it's a whole cycle of death, So
that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, and also, not just that, but it's not courageous either to just run into war. That's folly. That's complete folly, but that's distinct from wisdom. You need wisdom and courage, because everyone have had this guy that in their like friend group or something like that, that they have this guy, especially in the teenage years, that he's not afraid of anything, but he's the first one that will like get killed in an accident or something like that. It's just folly. And it's the same with many people that do like extreme sports and so on.
Yeah.
That's sometimes it's not courageous. It's quite dumb, and you're not respecting the life you have been given. So have to be more nuanced than that, because especially we Swedes, when we think about getting more the power that our forefathers had, the brute Viking mentality and so on, we have a disrupted view of that because of movies and so on. So we maybe get a bit one-sided there and want to go in that spirit, that Viking spirit. But
you think savage maybe, but not civilized savage.
Exactly. So that's not so. That's not way to go either, So
what do you think? I got some question just to add what you're saying. If you want to train a good like a dog that is, for example, if you want to hunt animals that are potentially dangerous for the dog, like let's say wild boars or a bear or something, the type of dog that you want is not aggressive. Like that's not the key. Aggression is not their key drive. Intelligence is their key drive, but then they can use aggression with intelligence as a tool to move the even an elk or the bear. Like
they are integrated. They have integrated their own masculinity, let's say. But
but pure aggression, bye dog, now you die. But you die the hero's death. Oh, or did you that's the question. I don't think so. So I'm just running into a burning building, like don't think what you're doing, don't calculate the risk, don't see if the construction is like weak, like come on.
Oh,
that's a dumbass.
Again, you have to marry this courage with wisdom. The discernment is very important. So even the ancients Greek think of it about that. You have all the virtues has to be they have to work together, let's say.
But being brave, sure, that's a good, like, that function as opening up the gate to where you need to go, as it's like a skill. Like, and of course, in our early years in our lives, whatever we're doing, we don't have the wisdom that much. That comes with age, maybe experience. But then being brave and maybe aggressive or whatever is opening up the doors to us. But then wisdom, experience, like as you said, they need to merge and blend together.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you're too scared, if you calculate too much and then you maybe don't dare to. you need the fire also to.
Yeah.
So if I come to you, I want to be your client. I can be open with you. I'm very scared of conflicts. I'm scared of physically scared of other men. I feel like they can run me over. I'm insecure, normal, I want to be more. I want to be more like a Viking. How do you approach a person like this if you see him as maybe a blank paper? Like, where would you start building up the attribute points that can then spill over to? Where would you start?
It's you have to how to say it in English, expose them to whatever they are afraid of. So they have to not to be less afraid of things, but be more courageous, and also then expose them to what they are afraid of, but not in a way that is too scary, and traumatizing, but you start think about like if you're if you're afraid of gangs in groups, let's say.
Yeah.
Then you maybe start out with looking at a picture. After that, you maybe look at the video. Maybe after that, we go outside and we look at gangs outside in the street and so on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So thread lightly and don't expose them too much, but not too little as well, because you have to have this. You have to. You have to higher the barrier. So, but then I attack it from many different point of view, or many different areas, because it's not always. It depends on the person. This is actually something that is not too uncommon to do. To work with guys, there are a lot of that. Phobias as well.
Yeah.
And so you also to build up the confidence, of course, training.
Yeah.
Martial arts. Oftentimes it just starts with like gym training, actually, just because you feel more strong and you achieve things, and your features as well get more manly. You feel more confident when you see yourself in the mirror and stuff also. So it both physically and psychologically, but also spiritually. Try to make the client to think of more existential things regarding life in a very subtle way, just planting a little bit of seed here and there that can grow eventually into a nice firm tree, and when the tree grows, also a lot of small birds and animals can live in that tree as a comfort, so that's the goal. The tree,
well said.
From the seed to the tree to the branches and to the animals that come in, because then you can be the security for other people as well, and then as a cliche, it's like
but that was good. I like that.
So but it's sometimes you have to thread quite lightly, because they can just end the agreement, let's say. So
yes,
everything depends on the person, but
if you didn't think like that, like build something up 1 centimeter at a time, and you just went that's and they have the option to leave. if you're then they do, and this is my.
But one more thing there, just the existential questions is very important as well, because that builds the more rigid courage and antidote for scaredness, let's say. I don't know if you can bend that word in that way, but and because memento mori, remember death, very important. And you have to have most people don't have a out-thought worldview. How the world works, and see the connections, and how they understand how people should behave, and what is governing us. Is it God? Is it a force, a universal force, and so on? And does that imply? do we have? Does the world consist of chaos, just potential, just atom just bumping into each other, or is it teleologically? Is it purpose driven, or if there is a purpose, what is this? We know that there must be a mind, if there is a purpose, because you can't have a share can't have a purpose more than to be a share. There are always a mind behind the share, that have created this share. So not to span out on that too much, but that's also that's the small seeds, that you have to lay out, because if you don't take the spiritual in mind, you will eventually come to a point where you become somewhat of, maybe not a nihilist, but you will feel some void that you can't fill with something. So it's very important, and so.
Is every poor person born, you think, with that?
Poor person, every poor person.
Oh,
or what did you say? Sorry.
No, this void thing.
Yeah.
If you look at human history, every culture, since the dawn of man, have had some, as you said, a worldview that they have maybe a name on, or a theory about, or like a book or whatever, or a religion.
Yeah.
So every culture.
Yeah. Our culture as well. Secular and live. Yeah. Everything is, we have you. If you vote for a political party, for example, you find it meaningful, and you believe that is the right path.
Yeah.
So you look at many different things, like, okay, is this true in this sense, in that sense, historical sense, psychological sense, philosophically, and so on. Then you can, but at the end, it's about the heart, and also about belief in many ways. But you can't take that just like straw man. Just it's all about belief. No, you have to take everything to account, and then, but at the end, it's about the heart, and then what you believe in. Belief is very important. So that's the same for a secular person that I believe in abortion. I believe in
environment,
anything. Exactly. Yeah, and that's a religion in itself, actually. So
it is.
It's goddess worship. I've said it many times. It's a worship of the divine feminine. Because traditionally, and when you look symbolically across the whole world, in every religion and every philosophical system, heaven is the masculine and earth is the feminine. So you're worshipping the earth, and you're offering up the children to the earth.
Yeah.
Through abortion today, for example.
Yeah.
As you did in the past. But then you took the little ones and you throw it into the fire. But today you sugar a little bit on it, so it tastes a little bit better that way.
Yeah. I saw a YouTube clip where some scientists, they were visiting some tribe in some jungle long time ago. They studied them. And they were so shocked when a woman gave birth, and one of the kids that came out there was deformed, very deformed, and not a healthy kid, something wrong. And they killed that kid.
Yeah.
And I remember they talked about it in the YouTube clip, that people were like, oh my God, these barbarian, there's cavemen people, they're brutal, they kill their children, And then there was a guy who was learning to understand them a bit more. Like, yeah, but we do abortion. And many people, sometimes you can see if there's something wrong with the kid when they're in the stomach. And people do abortions because they don't want to, maybe have a brain dead child to care for or life or whatever. So then they fix that problem there. These people don't have the option to, do this ultrasound thing. But they're doing the same thing. They just have to wait until the baby comes out, and then they do this. And this is like, then they are so barbaric, and we are so nice and sophisticated. And like, do you understand? You get what I'm saying here? Like,
yeah, I'm getting what you're saying, and the thing is, there's a big difference there as well, because they are primitive tribes that is foraging for food and so on.
Yeah, of course.
They have no use for a child that can't move, can't think. They will be a burden, and they can't afford it, because if you let this child live, maybe 2 of you will die. And if this is 2 guys that need much food, like the hunters in the tribe, then maybe the whole tribe will die if it's a extreme case, because they need food and the protection, and also so they to keep that child, they have to invest a lot more.
But
of course.
We judge them. We think they are bad and we're good.
Yeah, and the problem is actually,
I'm not saying you and I do that, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, the general public, let's say.
Yeah.
But for us, it's just because you want extreme form of freedom with no responsibility. So that's a character you problem. Not pointing at you, but people in general that hold to this liberal thinking and feminism and so forth. And
I gotta ask you, are you 100% anti-abortion all over the field? Like, what's your take?
There can be some, there are certain cases that is really hard, but I don't buy into the one that people say abortion for a child, like from a grape. I don't want to ban you on YouTube, so you have to have this words, because if you ask a child that, or a man that is or a woman, for that instance, that is a result of that their mother got raped by a unknown guy, their father, they won't say they would like to never lived, of course. Yeah. So then you can take the example for like if you look into with a scan on the stomach and you see that the child is like have some syndrome or
brain dead,
or is brain dead or something like that. That is a very hard one, because there are miracles. There have been quite a lot of cases that they have seen that the child looks like it's going to be not good, not healthy. And then when it came out, it was a healthy child, Yeah. So it's and you also have to take into account that there is this sinister part that they teach the doctors in a certain way, to like push abortion. Yeah. So that's, I think, people would say that's a bit conspiratorial, but no. So
it is conspiratorial.
Yeah, of course it is in the brute sense of the word. Yes,
it is.
So, but anyway.
But okay,
so that's a hard one, because you have to imagine yourself in that situation before you talk as well. So it's very hard, and sometimes that, that's the way. That's also bleeds into like worldviews. I believe that we are made in the image of God, and we can't destroy that image. But it's hard. It's very hard. Yeah. But I will take one last example. Okay.
Yeah, shoot.
Because I thought about this yesterday, actually, and I think about this: if your wife is pregnant, and quite for sure know she won't make it.
Yeah.
Will we let a new life come, or will we do an abortion and let the woman live? You know.
That's an easy answer for me.
Yeah, it could be, but you know.
Yeah, but I'm a forest barbarian. I am not. I'm going down in the flames after this life. So I'm kidding here, but I have a bit more pragmatic. If me and my wife were at the doctor and they say, like 100% now, the kid is going to be brain dead, no vision, no, like they're just going to lay there.
Yeah, no. I thought you missed us the last example.
I'm going to answer that also after.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So if they told me that, I would, in some strange way, think like the jungle people. This is gonna mess up the opportunities for my other kids. It's gonna take all the time and stuff for me. So I would then be thinking very like practically about it, which maybe sounds completely weird or wrong to some people, but then I would do this calculation and I would I would think like that. And if a doctor, same there, my wife, if they said, okay, it's the kid or the wife, the kid goes. Like, seriously, she's like together with me holding up this family with 4 children. Like we are, should I sacrifice everything, or should I sacrifice this thing that still yet is not human? Sure, it's alive. I get that it's alive, but it's not real yet in my head. It's not human. I don't have any relationship with it. My wife, who's the mother to my children, she's everything good that is bad about me, like like half of me in a way.
Yeah.
If I remove that, it's gonna fall. Like just pragmatic. I'm just practical.
Yes.
Like,
I wouldn't have any disagreements there. I would do the same thing, actually.
Yeah.
But my point was more like, what is the uppermost righteous thing to do? What is the most, should you embrace the new life and let the old one die, or it's a more of a it's in that way. But of course, in my day-to-day life, I would do the same, no doubt about it. But am I hypocritical? Because from my worldview,
I don't think you are. Like,
it's a hard question. It's very hard. But I wouldn't hesitate either. I would never risk my spouse for that, and I would not want to. And if I had children, I wouldn't want that extra burden.
No, but this is also I think this is interesting because it's you can think two things simultaneously that are different, and they can both kind of be right in a way, I think. Because but if you want to belong to that camp and have those opinions, it becomes harder and harder, and that's the benefit I have. I jump around and I pick and I take things that suit me, and I build my worldview on that. But it's
comes down to discernment as well. Even if you could say our decision to do a abortion of our brain dead child and spare our family, and same with the wife, spare her life and take that in priority over the children in the stomach. You can say that is the worldview from the external, the physical, and the other one is from a spiritual perspective. But then again, you have to apply discernment there. So it's not a hard line between if this is good from a spiritual perspective and vice versa. So that's why it becomes like more of a it becomes like a question you can take quite seriously, actually, because
I want to throw something in there. I realized this when I talk to you about this and hear you talk about this. I value life really high. And the most beautiful life can grow from even the most fucked up soil you can imagine, right? So with that being said, I agree with you on there. Like, even if everything seems fucked up and whatever, it can, you're taking away that organisms, that life's opportunity. You don't even give it a chance. That is sad. That is sad. And then, of course, depending on which camp you are on, some people are like, never okay. And then some people say, yeah, what if someone is being raped, whatever? I mean, we're taking it too far all the time. Like, can't we be in the middle just a bit and understand each other? But I would do, if I were a dictator, I had my own country, and I saw that some people, they used abortion as preventivmedel. Like, I've done 6 abortions this year with different people, whatever. If okay, now I'm going to sound like some evil person, and I am. Then I would like, okay, this individual that is obviously has some fucking problems, or same with there. We have both worked with people who troubled kids, messy families, stuff like that. Some people have 6 kids. All of them are placed in different HVB, SIS-hems, different parents. It's the worst fucking shit show you ever can imagine. And they are just spitting out kids as nothing because they don't understand what it takes to care for a kid. So, yeah, I can have another kid. Yeah, you don't do anything for them. So, of course you can. It's like, you have 5 cats, you just give them food sometimes. You're like, yeah, I can have another cat. So what I would do, if I want to be really have some radical opinions here, I would rather
stick your chin out, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I would rather remove this person's ability to have a kid, like sterilize them.
Yeah,
is that radical? That is crazy thoughts. But like, no. Obviously, this is not a good idea that this person spits out 8 kids and all of them they don't care for them. There is chaos, drugs, whatever. Like, does this person, they're gonna cost the government like 35 million crowns, this tiny little family, all of them.
Yeah, the taxpayer will pay that check.
Yeah.
But that's a more that's why we always have to think långsiktigt. How you say it?
Long term.
Long term. Thank you.
Yeah.
Always think long term, and this is a problem with our socialistic politics that we should sustain everyone, because if you don't sustain people, eventually they will go away.
Yeah.
So that will resolve many things. That's why this little country we live in Sweden, it's a rough country, with cold environment, and you have to forage food and hunt and so on in the olden days, and that will solve itself. The weak ones, I think we talked about this yesterday, and the weak ones will dissolve because they won't manage.
No.
And only the more proficient, more intelligent, more solving the people that can solve problems and so forth, they will sustain the strong ones and so on with the good genetics, and then there you have it. But today we don't do that. We give people, we give them food and so on, even though they don't accumulate resources for themselves. They don't bring any value to society. Nothing of the kind, So it's a long-term problem. As most of it, you have to go to the roots of the problem, because otherwise you have this, as you try to explain there, the infantile way. Oh, I believe this and I believe that. Yeah, it's very easy for you to think like that. Yeah, black and white. That's not how reality works at all. But but it really waters down to just follow like common sense principles.
Yeah.
Actually, so but we as individuals don't have that power to do that on a broad scale, but we can create that around us. First off, starting to work with ourselves, the little man. That's where it starts, and then the worldview, or can be from people's perspective, can maybe push the overton, or you say overton window, when you and society and leaders and so on might be, they will be tvingade, pressed to pressed to make some changes, but so
this
long
is
term.
the one problem that I see with what I'm gonna jump on what you said there. Like, if it's so easy to start sounding like you're some ambassador for the Third Reich in Germany when you step into this, like, as I said, you sterilize the dumbasses and they don't have kids. Yeah, of course. When I say that, there's a bit of humor, there's nuance to that, but when we allow people, huge parts of the population, not to work, we don't demand anything from them, we give them free food, free everything, of course that is going to be a problem. Like, that can't be rocket science. That can't be so, like, I mean, imagine just 200 years ago, living up here in the cold. You live in your little country there, and on the other side there, I live just 1 hour from the Norwegian border. If I knew that over there, you get free food, like, I would take my family, like, hey, let's leave this fucking cold place where everyone is starving and there's no opportunities, whatever. Like shit. Over there in Norway, you get, the kids get to go to school, free healthcare, free food. Like, of course I would. The problem is this system is built the socialistic, like, okay, we are 100 workers here. Matthias work 18 hours a day in the mine. Now he fell and broke both his legs. Now his wife and kids are, because we have no system to assist him or help him. Now it's useless. They take in another person and Matthias' life is gone. So what if we, 100 of us, we give like 1 krona per month? So if something like this happens, we can help Matthias and his family. Like, the core idea of this is really, really fucking nice. I like that. But we are not there now. Like, now, like, we grew up in the same mining village, me and you're like, yeah, I have decided, since you bring in this money, you people in the mines every day, I have decided I will not work. You can pay for it. Like, yeah, that's a problem. And then some other person comes. And now we are like 50 people working in the mines every day, breaking our backs. And we have 50 people sitting up on ground level, like watching TV. Like, the system wasn't built for that. And now I think we are in the phase where this system needs to yeah, you need to rewrite the rules, you need to
Yeah.
change it, you need to tighten everything up. And the problem with that, when you need to, because it's being abused, the problem with that is there are people like you still who fell down the mine and broke both your legs. Like, but since the system now is being so abused and drained in a way, yeah, it might be, yeah, Matthias, get up and go to work in your wheelchair, but like, so there's going to be casualties, like, yeah, you get what I'm saying. So
Absolutely, and that's how it have become as well. People just can be at home and so on and get paid, and then you have the guy that have worked all his life and he broke his back and he can't work and he fell between the shares and he don't get any pay at all. He's left for himself. That's how many people end up today, actually. But it's as you say, it shouldn't be rocket science, and it's not, because
no.
it's nothing new. You had that before as well. I have like the poor houses. The fattigste.
Yeah.
Exactly. You had that, and it works very well. The thing is that with our mentality, that's not many people that fall into that. If you have injury, the system will help you and so on. Your friends and family. That was more stable in the olden days, with the family's generational living and so on. So you can help each other and so on. So you had that. But when you implemented the socialistic ideology, then the father became the state, and that's also one bit of the how the woman can get like their freedom and try to make a living
hang out
themselves.
With us in the mines.
Yeah, as they don't do actually. So,
but they have their own version of mines.
Yeah, exactly, man. But it's. Today you need like two paychecks to even just to like rent a house, before you
but
could
this is
own
the
it.
irony of what you said also. Is this freedom what we're doing now?
And actually the word that you get from freedom, if you are talking about like having freedom and so on, and free will, if you look at scripture and so on. Free will, the word is actually more akin to free of choice. The free and the church fathers, they say the freedom to choose the good. Freedom isn't that you can do whatever you like. That's not freedom, because when you start to sin, you will get owned by the sin. The sin will own you. And that's not freedom. You have to be slave to something. So I rather be slave to the good. But today you get slave to your desires and your ego and everything that the ego wants and all of that. And so short-term goals and short-term.
How do you know if you're corrupted? How do you know if it's? I like this, it's a very simplified version, but the two wolves that you have inside you, the dark one and the light one. And the saying that the one you feed the most is what you become. It's quite like, I get it. Because often when you're unbalanced in life and for some strange reason bad decisions starts to become more common, and should I have the Coca-Cola or the water, like a Coca-Cola, and when you drink that it's easier to take another not so good decision. Like, it's just the door is open. So but when you are there, some people don't even have this voice, I should take the water instead of the Coca-Cola. Some people just, oh, Coca-Cola, nice. They drink it. They don't have this voice saying, oh, you should probably drink water instead. So they become corrupted by just their, desires, their lust, their lack of thinking, I guess you can say.
They are unconscious.
Yes. But
Yeah.
you can have the worst version of a person like this. They gamble, they watch porn every day, they lie, they cheat, they steal. But then the irony is like, do they know this, that they are? Do they know that they are like possessed by fucking Satan and everything they're doing is like feeding him? Do you think that if you don't have an intellectual language for this, because then you're not doing, like, if I do something really stupid, I have a voice telling me you should probably do something else. Why? Yeah, because you feel like shit when you do this and it's bad for your character. I can have this discussion with myself, but many people don't have that. They can't have that discussion. So, yeah, I don't know if this is even a question. I'm throwing it out there.
Yeah, it's a whole lot, bro. But as you said there, follow Satan unconsciously. Yeah, you're following your primitive parts of your soul, your desires, and so.
They are not actively taking the bad decision. It's just default.
I mean, it's impulses oftentimes, but that's the way it.
But can you?
You brought up Satan there, and that's actually something that is very telling. The greatest trick of Satan is to make you not believe that he exists.
Yeah, of course.
So so it is, and you can see this as in a micro scale within a person. If he's unconscious of his patterns of acting out in the world, let's say, that becomes just primitive impulses. You follow your desires and you follow your lowest common denominator.
Yeah.
So,
but is that a bad person? Because my pointer is that
eventually, but there are always redemption, of course. So
but
you can pivot that.
He could be a bad person in the world, like really chaotic. I mean, objectively, he can be bad if we measure it. Like, But the thing I'm after here is that since he is not maybe awake or thinking in these terms, when he gets to choose right or left, his default is left. So he is not tempted with like, hey, should you do good or bad, the same way we get. To him, it's just, there's a lot of, what I'm saying is, there's a lot of people who do a lot of, really messed up things who don't feel bad about that because they're not thinking that what they're doing is so bad, because they have no concept of what they could do instead, what the good is, whatever. So my philosophical question here is like, I'm not expecting some perfect answer, but like, are they then bad because they're not actively doing bad things, taking bad decisions, because they don't have the discussion in themselves? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and that is, it's like this. You can either accumulate, you can either work in the dark spirit or the light spirit, let's say this, the energies of God or the energies of Satan, let's say, and that can be unconsciously, of course. And that
you probably don't know that.
And if the person is, if I could call a person evil, that depends on what. I don't think like, and it's not evil to.
No.
It's evil to your body, to fill your body.
It's the wrong word.
But it is. It's quite right, because, okay, an evil thing in a very, very, very concrete way. The eye has a purpose. You see with the eye.
Yeah.
But if you hurt the eye, that's an evil to the eye. Same as when a person eat junk food instead of good food, eat meat and so on, and they choose to eat like processed food and candy and so on. That is a evil in itself. It's not evil, but in that context, that's a evil because he do something bad for his own body. But the person isn't an evil person because he choose to eat something bad. But if he start like killing people for dumb reasons, for egoistic reasons, then you're more in the realm of an evil one. And
Okay.
but there
Even
are
is an
redemption.
extreme word there. Yeah, but
Yeah,
if I sit at home, I have 4 kids. I go to work. I come home. I just sit there with my phone all day long, drink beer. I don't care. They want to have my attention. I like push them away. Like I'm just a sloppy piece of shit. Like I'm a useless human being on paper. Like, but I don't feel like that. I deserve to sit here. Like unconscious. Like the standards that I set on myself is just really fucking low. And yeah, for who knows why reasons, but of course, I wouldn't say that this person is evil, but he's obviously corrupted by something really fucked up. He's like, when doing these bad things all the time is normal, and you don't, even feel bad about it. Like it's a type of corruption, I think, of it.
Yeah, of course.
That corruption is, maybe not evil, but it's not good either. So I wouldn't call it good. So,
but it stems from you can be blessed by like discernment. When you can be, that's why you can't say. Many people say, did he do this bad thing? He's so intelligent. Yeah, but have you ever heard of the evil genius? So you can have a person that isn't that intelligent in the more concrete way, but he can be very righteous. He have a intuition that this is good, this is bad, and then on top of that, if your upbringing also have, let's say, you have a world view from a religion, for example, you have the principle in there you go after, and it depends on what religion you follow, but that can also, or that does also make the difference between human. But because today we have the society triggers and put all the most primitive desires and so on. It triggers what is like put on the pedestal today is that in which encourage people's lowest parts, desires, sex, food, and all what is good. They corrupt that one with like, you can say you should, for example, be very friendly to a person that come to your home. Yes, that is true. But you have to apply also there, like discernment. Do we take like 10 persons into my house?
Yeah.
No, that's a corruption, No, but you're evil if you don't do that. Okay, no. So they twist and turn these things as well. So it's not a strange thing because it's, that's the right word. Encouragement is, today's society is the encouragement of the lowest desires of people. And that is like no-brainer actually, but because
but it's an efficient type of crowd control. Like
exactly.
It's easy.
And also when you put economics at the top, it's always a good tool also for different companies and so on to feed on that. people's desires and so on. So it's very easy today to say, but I'm tired today. I work for a whole day. Now I can eat this, and I can like shove my children away. Fuck off. Hey, take the iPad and go look at something dumb. You know.
Yeah, so that's normal.
They're very normal. Yeah.
Yeah. Normalized.
Normalized. Yeah, exactly. So and
I'm curious about this. So it's interesting to talk about it because
Carl Jung said that said that all evil stems from the unconsciousness of humans of man. And that's also, if you take into account what I said about Satan, that he tried to disguise himself. So the same we do with our unconscious. That's what I mean. We let the unconscious be down here. We don't want to see our discrepancies, our own faults, our shameful behaviors, and so on.
Yeah.
And today it's very easy to just,
maybe
slap it away.
Yeah. I'm just, for my own, way of looking at things. If a dog comes up to you and there's a pile of shit there, and the dogs keep starts eating the shit, that's pretty nasty behavior. And afterwards the dog comes and lick your face. We don't. But even if it's really fucking nasty, you don't really judge the dog. You fucking filth. Yeah, sure, but it is kind of expected of the dog to behave like that.
Exactly, because they don't have. As the only species on Earth, we have the capacity to reason.
Yeah, but if you're that guy in the sofa, then sitting there with a beer, I'm the world's
but that's a bit of the point as well.
Yeah,
he's a primitive form of human. He's not fully human.
No, so
no one is, but you can be more or less fully human.
Yeah.
So you can say he is further away of what God intended. Yeah. Because if you take this from Scripture, you take this from the biblical Christian perspective, when Adam fell, we also fell in a way. We are not guilty, because it's like if you have a person in your community that put some drugs in the water, everybody drinks. We are affected by it, but it's not our guilt. So we instead of the reason is controlling our primitive side, the lower parts of the soul. It's now when the fall came, death came into the world, so it got pivoted. So now we work from here, and we have to work us up. This is the normal. Yeah, exactly. So now the primitive part of the human controls the reason. And sin is death. That's missing the mark. That's actually what it means, missing the mark. It's in Hebrew, hatara, I think it is. And it's etymologically, it's like a arching, a word for arching, bow and arrow.
Yeah.
So missing the mark. And so, because if you go that line, you will walk the path to death if you're missing the purpose of something. That's why you can't say that sex is bad. Many Puritans may say that, but that's not right. I don't think in the least.
It can be really good.
Yeah, because it's one of the most important things. We are co-creators with God, so we have to reproduce. But if you make it only for your own desires, maybe you do a lot of
Weird
you know,
shit.
you use sex as just a pleasure. You only have sex with condom, and you hurt people and anything of that kind. Then you miss the mark of it, and you go. So evil is privation of the good. Is when good isn't around, you know. So it's when you take your own free will, let's say, you take your own will away from God's will, because everything God's created is good.
Yeah.
So
apart from the people sitting in the sofa.
Do you see, like, it can be hard to think about these things if you don't have a more rigid, out-thought worldview.
Yeah, but I get everything you're saying.
I know. But I'm thinking for like normies, let's say. This is not even, as you said before, very good and clear that when you talked about that guy in the sofa, he doesn't know this exists. You know, he don't know.
No. Of course not.
So that's when the humility towards people come in as well, which is very, very good, that you see people as children, many people.
Yeah. That was kind of my little side thing there with the dog eating shit, the person doing that. Should I expect him to do something else than that? Yeah, but why are you looking at the limitations he has? Like, no, I don't. I think he shouldn't do that, so he shouldn't. So it's easy. I'm guilty of this all the time. I'm very judgmental against certain behaviors, especially behaviors that I hate in myself. I can admit that. Super judgmental, super hard, super black and white sometimes. But I need to personally remind myself that not everyone is introduced with this. I should do this or that.
No,
they only have this thing, whatever they're doing,
and they follow their free will, and they don't choose the good. And as C.S. Lewis said, you know, the door to hell is locked from the inside. That's quite telling. You are there by choice, and you can see that you can create hell for yourself here on earth. So.
Pretty
and
easy.
you can also create heaven. Yeah. So and but it's that's one very important part of making changes, as you said there, as you hinted at, to be very suspicious of yourself, question yourself, why do you do that? Why are you like cynical towards these people? Okay, is there something here?
It is.
So, be suspicious of yourself. It's very important. I say that all the time to my clients as well. You know, be suspicious. Don't think that you do something for the obvious reason. You know.
No, you don't.
No.
Yeah. Okay. So. We need to wrap this up now.
Yeah.
Yes. I really want to thank you for this really cool conversation.
Yeah, and thank you for having me. Really, really good talk there.
Yeah, it was. So in Spotify here down there, I'm going to put your links, and I got a feeling that we're probably going to talk again, my friend.
Yeah. Yes, we will. You will come on to my podcast for the second time there, but for a real episode.
Yeah, that's the first.
Yeah.
So, over and out.